Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Welcome to the Fly With Us podcast. This podcast is bringing the art of conversation, self-love, self-care, mental health care and protection, life lessons, love lessons, and everything in between. Today, we're going to talk about burials outside the box. I'm Lady Bounce.
I'm Kryptonite.
I mean, it is.
Oh, you said, okay, it took me a minute. Burials outside the box. I was like, wait a minute, what? Okay. All right.
Never mind.
Okay. My bad. Hey, I'm sleepy. Hey, look, it's going to take a minute for anything to register right now. All right. So here we have a mindful moment, a mindful day. Yeah, just listen to this. Older and wiser, I ask for wisdom in all areas of my life. I continue seeking wisdom as long as I live. Whether we want to or not, we all get older. Hopefully, we get wiser as well, but this part is not guaranteed. Plenty of full-grown adults act like spoiled children, always insisting on their own way. True wisdom doesn't arrive on a schedule like a package ordered from Amazon. We have to set wisdom as a goal, but never imagine that we have achieved it. We have to try not to get as ruffled by the inconveniences and setbacks of life, to learn how to thrive no matter what happens in the external conditions. We can't possess true wisdom. We can only keep seeking it. After a few rounds of deep breathing, ask for true wisdom to come to you. Ask for wisdom in your relationships, in your working life, in your finances. Boy, do I need that. In your use of resources, in your use of your body. And we're going to get to that. See all of these areas of your life coming into harmony, no longer competing with one another. See all aims coalescing around the one goal of liberation from rebirth. See the one wisdom present before the world began, being made manifest in you. Look, I'm going to read that again because that was a lot of commas and I got blurry vision right now. All right. See the one wisdom present from before the world began, being made manifest in you. Become a jewel reflecting the divine light. Well, we're going to reflect some divine light today.
Okay.
All right. So we were talking about thinking outside the box and how there are a lot of things that are just really that we consider traditional and that we have been doing for years. And quite honestly, some of them are just wrong. Okay. Right. So today's topic, we're talking about burials. I, for one, have had an idea for quite some time. And it was something that I saw on Facebook, but about having a green burial service. And basically, don't y'all steal my ideas, but
okay.
Not like I got money to work on none of them, but I'm just saying. So anyway, they have it now where you can have your loved one cremated and you can put them in glass, and it's artwork. It's like a piece of art. Instead of having this big metal goofy whatever urn sitting somewhere, you can have what looks like a beautiful piece of art made of glass, and your loved one is looking fabulous. Yeah, sitting in there, and you can have a little plaque on there and in memory of, or however you do an urn, except it's a piece of artwork. It's not just sitting there. Like if somebody knocks that over,
oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, well, like whether they knock it over, if it's an urn, you sweeping it up. If it's glass, you might be sweeping it up, but glass might be reinforced or something.
Right, it's trying to be thicker so it doesn't break.
And so the second part of that is to have like a memorial garden. And basically what it would be, my idea anyway, is that a person's loved one, person has passed, they're put in a biodegradable bag that will go underneath the earth, and a person will pick something to grow over top of their loved one. Like say our grandmother, her favorite flower was roses. So we would have a rose bush, or maybe 2 or 3 rose bushes that she would be buried underneath. And we could, her favorite animal is elephants. Get little stone elephants to say something in memorial of, you know. Right. And then, you know, all of that stuff that you will put on a traditional headstone. It's on like a placard, or it's on some ornament or something
similar.
So anyway, the point of this is that your loved one, in theory, is still alive. And quite honestly, it's not even a theory. It's really the truth. Your loved one is still alive because their body is the nutrient for whatever plant it was that was chosen to grow over top of them. So you don't just come when you come to visit, like most people go and they talk to a headstone and they put flowers on top of a grave, but they don't bury them and they don't put them in the ground. Right. You know what I mean? So you just talking to a piece of stone and a plot of earth. Whereas you could come into memorial garden service, you could prune the plants, take care of the plants if you want to. As you taking care of the plant, you can talk to your loved one. You can see how they've grown, how they blossom. You know,
and we know that talking to plants
is scientifically proven to help them grow.
Exactly. So you're talking to this plant, which essentially, you know, you're talking to your loved one, and it's growing, it's flourishing. I think that that's a fantastic idea. Like, I would love to be a tree. Like, because I don't really have like a favorite flower or like a favorite bush. But yeah, I'd be a nice little strong, you know, oak tree or something, or maybe cherry wood based on my skin tone. Who knows?
Oh, geez. That's based on my skin tone.
Based on my skin tone. I mean, I don't know, but I think that that's a fantastic idea. And the idea of, you know, cemeteries is I mean, it's what we do, but just because it's what we've always done doesn't mean it's what we should keep doing. And there was a story on the news a couple weeks ago about how we're running out of space. So as people die, we're running out of green space to put them places. So maybe.
So and then here's the other part of that, because to have a service like this, to perform burials like this, and you know, our keep our loved ones' memory alive in this manner, this reduces our thumbprint, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Our green print on the earth. Because if we are in turn planting trees or plants or whatever it is, then we are giving back to the earth what we are taking away. We cut down a tree to make a box to put a person in, just so we can put them back in the ground.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it really doesn't make any sense. But if a person passed, first of all, what they say, from dust to dust. So if you come from the earth and you take from the earth during the duration of your life, whatever it is, natural resources, food, whatever it is, you take from the earth your entire life. It should only be fitting that once you pass, that you go back into the earth to feed the earth and replenish the earth what you've taken from it the whole time you've been on it.
I agree. It's a circle of life.
Yes, it is a circle of life.
It's supposed to be.
And it would help with these emissions, fumes. It would help with all of these problems, the climate issue of us, because we cut down trees at an alarming rate. The fact that the Amazon forest is pretty much, if not gone, half gone. I mean, that is devastating. That's going to devastate our lives.
Yeah, and
we may not see it.
It's going to take millions of years for all those trees to grow back.
We may not see the devastation that takes place, but best believe it's coming fast.
Yeah.
What's the stuff that's about to start happening? It's not about to be about a third world country. It's going to be the whole world. The whole world is going to be messed up.
Yeah.
From just the little things that we do on a daily basis, or the things that people feel like doesn't even matter. Oh, you know, we gonna cut, because
that's not in my town, so it don't matter.
Yeah, the only reason, and the only reason that they even cut those trees down. Well, I'm not gonna say cut those trees down. The reason that the Amazon was allowed to burn was to make way for farmland for the farmers in Brazil.
Right.
At least this is one of the stories that I read about. You know what I'm saying? But not so much telling. It's been reported that the president of Brazil was like, okay, we ain't gonna mess with nothing. We don't need y'all help. We gonna take care of this. And the farmers was out there like, yeah, we need some farmland, so we about to get rid of some of these trees. Where the indigenous people, the people that actually live in the rainforest, is like, they coming out in the streets like, no, this ain't right. But my point is that if we were to start to pick up some of that, like if some of the slack, you say, or to change the way that we think about things, then we could change the world. It don't have to be nothing big, like something as small as this, and this is really small, but it's major significance though,
and it's doable.
It is doable. It's extremely doable. Like, it's immediate change type doable. We could do it now, like, and it will make a difference.
If you think about just, like you said, the Amazon is burning. There's a wildfire in California right now that's killing trees.
Is it? Because I thought it was snowing in California.
No, there's a wildfire in some parts, and then it was snowing in a part where it doesn't normally snow.
Right.
So either way, it's the earth is a little messed up on that part of the country. But there's also a major wildfire burning in Australia, which is killing the wildlife.
Oh, is it still burning?
It's still
That's
burning.
Been burning for about 2 weeks now, hasn't it?
And the thing that was crazy is that on their New Year's celebration, they still lit off fireworks in Australia. And I thought that was really weird, having this big wildfire. What if one of those embers from a firecracker sparked and now you got two big spaces burning? I just thought it was weird. But
I would just stay away from fire at this point.
Right, like celebrate, but not with the fireworks.
Yeah, it's not necessary.
Yeah, but they still did it over the water and everything. But yeah, there's a fire burning there.
Well, see, then that's what it was. It was over the water.
And then, in our area, we had those 19 tornadoes, which devastated lots and lots of trees, like over by...
Yeah, well, Sinclair Park does not exist anymore.
Yeah, Sinclair Park is gone.
Yeah.
So Sinclair Park would be a perfect spot for green burials.
Oh my God, we gotta get some money. Why don't we have any money? Why don't we have any money when we have these magnificent epiphanies?
I don't know.
But we should have some money because
I'm a school teacher.
That would really be an awesome place to have something like a green memorial.
Because you got to put the trees back somehow. Why not put bodies to nurture the trees?
And then it makes it so much more personal. Like, it's like, okay, funerals and dead people are just depressing anyway, especially when it's somebody you love. That's just depressing.
It is.
So how much more life would it give you? How you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, how much better would it feel to
know,
go to a memorial, to go to like a cemetery, and instead of you talking to a slab of stone, you talking to a flower,
right?
Or you talking to some trees, because your loved one is still alive in that plant. Your loved one is still growing and still flourishing and still being nurtured. You're caring for if you're caring for the plant, you're caring for your loved one. You know what I mean?
I agree.
You still get and it's scientifically proven that when you talk to plants, they grow. Mm-hmm. So it's not like your words are falling upon deaf ears. You know what I'm saying? Your loved one is there responding to you.
Exactly. Because one of the self-care assignments we did, like in one of our earlier episodes, was talking about, planting a garden, planting a tree, and what that does for the brain and what that does for self-care and for your mental health. Like, lots of people get into gardening because it is a great release of negative energy. As you are cultivating something, you're taking care of it, you're loving it. That's why, like, the same endorphins that are released when you like play with a baby are the same endorphins that are released when you plant and you garden. So how awesome would it be? And if you're really struggling with the passing of a particular person, how awesome would that be to have a plant, to have a tree, a bush, their favorite kind of bush, and you go and you talk to it, and like you said, then it feels like they're never gone because the plant responds.
Technically they're not. They are really still here living on earth. They're just not living in their body. They're living through another living thing.
I would love that, because I have to be honest, since grandma's passing, I've only been to the cemetery one time.
I don't go to cemeteries.
Right, because it's depressing.
Yeah, I don't go to cemeteries.
I've never been to where Freddie is buried. No. Never. Couldn't tell you where he's. I know where he's at. I swear, but I couldn't tell you where.
But I would go to some place like what I'm describing.
I would too,
because nature is just nature.
I would put a bench there.
Oh my gosh, get out of my head.
I'll sit there and read.
Listen, get out of my head. Listen, in my mind, grandma's plot. Okay, grandma's pizza area where she would have her memorial. Okay, we've got the little elephants up that's got her name and her date of birth and when she passed and a little message from the family. We got our bushes right there. We have a little white bench sitting in front of the bushes, in front of the elephants, and I love it. And you know what I'm saying? We can do whatever, you know what I'm saying? And then like maybe the plot adjacent to her, maybe it'd be granddaddy. You know, granddaddy can buy a little something and we have him right there with whatever. You know what I'm saying? It could be a family thing, but instead of having these great big slabs of granite and concrete and straight rock,
right?
We have a beautiful garden. Like we have trees and we have flowers and we have bushes and we have things that bloom and we have things that you can cultivate and okay, say you the type of person you're not into gardening. Fine. Cemeteries have maintenance men. We have botanists on hand that can take care and let us know what this plant requires, what it's going to take for it to grow. Take care of it in the wintertime so it doesn't die, or make sure that if it does die,
it replenishes
to replenish and regrow. You know what I'm saying? Because even if a plant does pass, if you take part of that plant and take care of it, that's still your loved one.
Right.
You know,
and some plants, they, like I said, they die, but they come back every year. Right. So really, they're technically not dying; they're dormant.
Right.
So they shed, and then they continue to live and to grow. And then when spring happens, boom, here they come again.
Here they come. Exactly. And then, and let's face it, you're not visiting grandma's plot in December.
No.
9 times out of 10, you're not coming back till April, May, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But how beautiful would that be to see families coming out having picnics and families coming out and people that have gardened together, because grandma used to love gardening, you know? And every once in a while somebody would get out there with her and pluck something or pick something or prune something.
I picked many a green.
You know what I'm saying? And that's something that a whole family could get involved with. Right. You know what I mean? If you have a child and they used to garden with their grandparent and their grandparent all of a sudden is no longer in their life, take that child and be like, hey, we can go see grandma. We about to
because then the kid has a sense of pride because I'm using these things that grandma taught me to take care of grandma. Absolutely.
Yes. And then there's an appreciation for the earth, period. Because we lack that. We have no appreciation for the earth and what the earth sacrifices for us every day.
Consume
all the time. And that's why we're in the situation that we in, because we're constantly taking and we feel like there's no real repercussions to that. You know what I mean? At least
like it's not gonna end.
Yes, the people in government don't feel that way. They don't feel like there's any repercussions to continuously take it from the earth and drilling and doing all the things they do. Do you know that they're not going into the mines anymore? That's because they're taking the coal straight from the top of the mountain. They're taking, if you ever get a minute to watch, there's a show called Aerial America. It's on, I want to say it's on the History Channel.
Okay.
It's a wonderful show. It gives you the history of each state. And it, just throughout the course of time, all the battles and stuff that you never see, things that you didn't even know existed in the state that you live in. They do an aerial view and they show you different landmarks and monuments, and they talk about rivers and their historical meaning and companies that were built and it gives you a whole history of whatever state it is that they happen to be in. You know what I mean? Wow. And they did one of Virginia. And it was so sad to see the mountains gone. They are destroying the mountains for coal. There's bulldozers that have taken away the tops of mountains. The landscape of the earth.
Right.
They're destroying it. for this resource, this coal, and we really need to get away from it anyway. It's, you know what I'm saying?
What do we? I mean, I know like we use charcoal for barbecue.
We use coal. We use coal for phones.
Like, we use coal for phones. We use coal for trains and diamonds and just like
oil. I think coal and oil have some type of
yeah, but like, you know, it's so funny. You know, I in thinking in terms like that, we are the most advanced, the most smartest country in the world, and we can't figure out
how to get away from the traditional stuff that's killing the earth.
Right.
Like they want to talk about these wind turbines. Great freaking idea. This is just, I mean,
right.
Did I tell you about Akon?
Yeah, he's bringing water.
No. Look, Akon. We better quit talking about Akon for the government go find this black ass. No, for real. Akon is getting Akon, you already know what he's doing in Africa, so he got dough. Okay.
Oh yeah.
But he bringing his shit to the States. Where he is bringing a company, a solar panel company, and I believe it's located, I know it's in the Carolinas, not quite sure where. I want to say Charlotte. Okay. Or maybe Charleston. I'm not real sure. But my point is this. He's bringing in like these solar panels. He's doing solar panels so that they can conserve and help produce electricity.
Okay.
But it's big. I mean, like what I'm saying about it gives it absolutely no justice.
Right. I know he's been very instrumental in the science and taking care of the earth, because he invested heavily in trying to fix the Flint water crisis, because he brought water to like rural villages in Africa. And these are the crazy thing is like he is of African descent. He is from Africa. However, these countries that he's invested in his money, his time, and his energies are not the countries where he's from. And
that's not true.
And I say that to say people always think, oh, I can only do something where I'm from, or if I'm not from there, I don't care. We have to get away from that minuscule thinking to global thinking.
I'm gonna tell you, Akon is doing what he's doing in places like Flint because of what he's done in Africa.
Right.
That's giving him the leeway to be able to invest in other places, because what he did in Africa was brilliant.
Yeah, it was.
It was brilliant. But how he made that deal happen was brilliant.
And people go, well, it don't affect me. It ain't in the town I'm from.
Yeah, whatever. But it's about to, in a minute, it may very well be, because he's trying to bring that brilliance on over here.
Right.
And get it popping over here.
And I'm not mad at him. I'm
not at all, because what he's doing, it is globally, you know, it's going to benefit so many people globally, and it benefits the earth. Like our green thumbprint, whatever the heck they be talking about,
our carbon footprint.
Yes, there it is. We can if we were to do like a green memorial service, that would significantly reduce our carbon footprint, because it would replenish so many of the resources, plants and trees. And if we got plants, we got bees. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And we need bees, and people don't realize how bad we need bees. People act like they don't understand how bad we need bees. When the bees are gone, so are we.
Right.
When the trees are gone, so are we.
Exactly.
Like, people don't even get it.
And then, you know, and from the educational standpoint, as we make these changes and we do these things, they are giving scholarships to HBCUs for kids to study agriculture and energy and greenism, because they realize that this is the future. And
it needs to be, these kids money. Yeah, and it needs to be, but it needs to be the future, because we will be extinct. We will kill ourselves if we don't do something. And I don't understand, you know, I don't know why people think that we're supposed to be here forever, or that humans are supposed to be here forever. Like, if I'm not mistaken, it's like like every 26,000 years, the world goes, the earth itself goes through a change.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
so who's to say that we are?
And who's to say that that's not coming up right? Like, quickly.
Right.
Like we're up.
Well,
and then not just that, but the stuff that we are doing to the planet, taking away from the planet,
Right.
and with the climate change, we're making it happen faster. We're bringing the
if you
change
think
about
about,
ourselves.
all of like the doomsday movies right now, the biggest thing is finding another Earth, because this Earth is going to die. So we got to go find another planet.
I don't even understand
and
that. Like, okay.
so these movies aren't that far fetched.
But
like,
it's like, you idiots. What, are you serious? Like, exactly who's going to, only the 1% can travel.
right.
Like that. Who is going to inhabit another planet? Who walking around all day in a spacesuit because they can't breathe the air?
right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, pretty soon it's gonna happen here, because
Right.
everybody gonna have to have oxygen tanks on their back.
Right.
And you ain't gonna be able to go outside, because during the day you better take your ass outside at night, because in a minute your ass gonna burn up trying to go outside during the day.
Right.
If things keep going the way they going.
But that's what makes those movies so believable, because we are tearing up the world at a rapid rate.
Which movies the believable? To find another planet?
Well, no, not to find another planet, but the fact that that's what they're that it would be a thing to consider, to find another Earth or another planet to live on that we can inhabit.
These are the whimsical dreams of human beings that
Right.
think that they are invincible.
Right.
These are, because there is no way in the world that a rational person is going to sit and think, hey, we can go to another planet and thrive and survive.
Right.
First of all, you got to figure out how to grow shit. You got to figure out how to keep your ass alive, much less keep the shit you grew alive. Then you got to have material to go build.
I agree.
I ain't seen a planet yet with a tree.
No.
I ain't seen Mars with a tree. Does Pluto have a tree? Pluto got oh no, that's a star now.
Right, it's a star now.
Yeah. So what you gonna build with once you get there? Where you living?
Right.
And what you gonna build? What food you gonna? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
With all of these things to be considered, it doesn't make sense to consider doing that. You
Right.
have to consider all of these other factors just to sustain life.
Right.
Much less going to see if you can even live on the planet. Once you get there, how do you sustain life? How long do you think it's going to take for you to do the study that it's going to require for you to study what you need to study to do the study?
And
you feel me?
That, and like you said before, how we gonna get there? Like, really?
There's not a Boeing 57 that's going to take half the population
No.
into outer space to colonize another planet.
I'd be scared to even try to go. I'd be like, you know what? I'm just gonna take my chances down here, caveman style.
Okay,
I'm good.
Quite frankly,
I'm good.
Honestly, I would love to go just to see outer space, because I just think that that's just fantastic. That would
Right.
be
I mean, I
wonderful.
would like to see,
would I want to live on another planet? No, I don't want to live on another planet. I gotta wear a suit to be on.
Nah.
I don't want to have a helmet head every day, because I can't walk around. I gotta go to my mailbox. I gotta get fully dressed in space gear to go pick up a bill. Like, what is really happening? I can't step outside. Man, no, I'm good. That don't make no sense at all. How about we work on taking care of this planet? That way you don't have to go find another planet to try and fuck up.
I like it.
I'm with it too.
I like it. All right. So our self-care assignment for this episode is think outside the box.
Think outside the box. That's the only thing it is. Like, look, these things that they call tradition, who said? Like, who said? Somebody came up with it, and a whole bunch of other people was like, okay. But it was somebody with some money that came up with it, because they made money off of it
and spread it to the masses.
Yes, and then we continue to follow behind and continue to do. But it doesn't make sense to keep doing it. Not now. Most definitely not now.
I agree. All right, so the brain science behind it all, because we got to back it up with science. All right, death puzzles, touches, and disturbs us all while presenting a realm of unanswered questions. One thing we do know for sure is that none of us will escape death. And so you may as well know how you want to be buried. No matter what your faith or if you believe in an afterlife, organic burial plots that turn loved ones into trees make the idea of death a little more comforting.
You found that?
Yes.
Damn.
In fact, these awesome burial pods make the perfect burial ritual in so many ways.
I see.
You
reading off of I see what you're reading off of.
So your body is first encapsulated into a fetal position in order to fit inside the burial pod. The pod looks like an earthly piece of art, but it's really a biodegradable casket. Once the burial pod is buried deep underground, a tree, seed, or a young tree or plant is placed directly above, and from one source of life sparks another. So instead of visiting a spooky, sad cemetery, visitors will enter a beautiful memory forest full of hope and the promise of new life.
That would be so awesome.
Loved ones will be cared for there, seeking comfort beneath its shade, which is far more than you can expect from a tombstone.
That would be awesome.
After being presented with this burial option, it seems rather silly to purchase a fancy, overpriced coffin. After all, a cemetery full of headstones is far more depressing for your mental health than a beautiful memory forest of lush trees. This idea is far better for the environment. Instead of cutting down trees to make coffins, we would be producing more trees.
Yes.
The pod is made from all renewable and biodegradable materials, including starch, plastic, and seasonal plants such as potatoes and corn.
Understand that when we say that when castic is used in that it does not mean casket. It is a biodegradable bag.
Right. So then it says there's a new company who's trying to get it started, and they haven't gotten government approval, as always. But they said that it takes about 10 to 40 years for a tree to grow. However, with a burial coffin, you could grow a fully grown tree in 8 to 12 years.
Wow, that's awesome, because the nutrients are all in that one area. So
yes, it's concentrated.
It's concentrated, so the tree is constantly feeding off of it. That's awesome. That would be awesome. I would love to get something like that going.
So just imagine a late husband or wife sprouting new life side by side as two gorgeous trees,
or your
grandma and grandpa,
auntie, or your grandpa, or your mom,
truly
or
adds
your
to the
dad.
beauty and sadness of burying a loved one.
But it would make it so much easier to have to do it.
It is.
It would make it easy.
So it's eco-friendly.
Yes.
It's good for your mental health.
Yes.
And we already know the benefits of gardening on our mental health.
Yes.
So think outside the box. Literally.
Yes.
Take care of yourself this week.
And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. No S.
No S.
No
I didn't
S.
say years.
I know, but I've been seeing it on Facebook since December 30th.
Well, Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Okay, continued blessings into 2020.
I'm Lady Bounce.
I'm Kryptonite.
And we out.
We out.